Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Mama Lisa's. Today I'm making up a quick meal for a friend, and I decided to do some roasted chicken and gravy. Got my chicken cut up, my carrots that I'm going to put in with the gravy, all of my seasonings there, and I already have some of the chicken browning in the pan, and some potatoes chopped up to make mashed potatoes. So that's what I'm doing today. Come along and watch as I finish up this meal. Shouldn't really take too long. Just got to get all my chicken in the oven and the gravy with it. I turn those over. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add the rest of my chicken pieces in there. And this is just some cut up chicken breast that I have. I bought a couple weeks ago at the Amish market. It's organic. It's so good. And they'll all get browned. Just gonna put that in there and rinse my hand off in the bleach water, along with my cutting plastic. Whenever I do chicken, I always keep some bleach water going. That way I can clean around what I'm doing. Whew, and it's hot, 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 hot. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, now let's season these. And I'm going to just use a little bit of Lowry's. My potatoes are boiling. And this Dutch Country seasoning, the no salt farm dust, is so good. I can tell you what it has in it here in a minute. It has, let's see, dried onion, garlic, black pepper, celery, fennel, coriander, marjoram, thyme, rosemary, savory, sage, oregano, and basil. Really a lot of the Italian style seasonings, but it just goes so well with this. A little bit of pepper on that. I know it looks like a lot, but it's going to be with gravy, so it'll disperse in the gravy. And I'm going to put a little bit of dash. There we go. Yum. Okay. And I'm just going to wait for those other little pieces there to brown a little bit on the other side, and then turn them over and put my gravy in. Let's see here. There we go. Good enough. It's going to go in the oven at 375 to bake for just a little bit. Let me mix up my gravy. And I just use packaged gravy with a can of cream of chicken soup. And I'm just going to dump that in there. And my fresh carrots that I have sliced up julienne style over here. I'm just going to take these and dump them in there. And they give it such a great flavor, in addition to cooking up softly. Alrighty, there we go. And I'm going to put the lid on that and let that cook for about 45 minutes in the oven at 375. And I'll show you my finished meal when it's done. Alrighty, my potatoes are done. So I'm going to mix these up in my stand mixer. I got these on just stir so I can mix it up without flying my potatoes everywhere. And I'm going to add in a little bit of Lowry seasoning salt to my potatoes. Looks like a lot, but it's not. Not with that amount of potatoes. And I'm going to put my pepper in there with it. Alrighty. And a little bit of my Redmond's real salt. Let's see. There we go. And I'm going to just push that down with my rubber spatula to make sure everything gets all incorporated. And this is how I do my mashed potatoes. Or cream potatoes, depending on where you're at, where you live. Okay. And I've got my butter in the oven melting so it won't make my potatoes cool off too much. I'm going to put a stick and a half. Yep, that's right, a stick and a half of real butter. My salted butter. I'm going to put that in there. There we go. And I'm going to just scoop that all back down in there. Make sure everything gets good and incorporated. Smells so good. I'll turn it up just a little bit. And I'm going to start adding my milk. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of whole milk here. I'll add a little bit at a time. It may not take all of that, but we'll see. And it may take a little more. You never know. It always depends on the potato too, you know. Sometimes you can get a batch of potatoes that doesn't take as much milk to cream, and other times it takes a little bit more, you know. Alright, let's put it up a little bit more. Go and put the rest of that 3/4 cup in there. You know what? Let's add a little bit of dash to that, just to make it prettier. I know, mashed potatoes pretty, but the little flakes of the dehydrated vegetables makes it pretty. And that's a little bit, but you know what? That's a lot of potatoes too. Alrighty. Let's scrape the edges again. And they look pretty good. And then I'll just put those on top of the stove, leave them in the bowl and cover them up, and they'll stay warm till my chicken and carrots get done. They're nice and creamy. I think there might be a couple little pieces of potato in there, but I found with these potatoes, for some reason, you have to cook them like forever, but then it cooks down your potato to where you don't have much left, so we'll deal with a couple little lumps in it. It isn't going to hurt. And some people actually like lumps in there, so. And there you go. That is done. Alrighty. Our mashed potatoes are done. Baked chicken and mashed potatoes are done. And I also have out here some asparagus that I'm going to put in my lunch for my supper at work. And I'm just going to cut the ends off and put some butter and seasoning on them. And then when I get to work tonight, I'll nuke them. And then I'm going to make up the rest for my friend here. And when I buy these, what I do is I cut the ends off and I stick them down in a glass of water and put them in my fridge, and they stay good for really for quite a while. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 is good enough for me. And I'm going to go cut these off. Well, let's see. We'll just cut these off. Really, they tell you wherever it snaps at, that's where your crispy point's at. So I'm going to cut these right to there. If you can see that. They're getting a little bit on the soft side though, so I definitely need to use them soon. Alrighty. Maybe I'll do a couple more. Maybe I'll have 8 of them since they're getting a little bit soft on the ends. I don't want to waste them. Okay, let me rinse these off. There we go. I've got them in my little bowl. And let me go put these back in the fridge. And let me get the butter. I'll put a little bit of butter in there and seasoning. About a teaspoon of butter. That way, when I steam them at work, they'll have a little bit of butter and seasoning. Let's do a little bit of Creole. Don't want them too spicy, just a little bit. And some dash. There we go. And then after I steam them, I'll add some salt and pepper to that. Well, mainly pepper, because I already put the Creole on it, and it has salt in it. Okay. There we go. Now, let me wipe this up. Get my gloves out, and I'll assemble these dinners. Hope you guys are having a good day on this beautiful fall day. Let me find my gloves. Let's do the big ones. I'm not a fan of these great big ones because they barely want to stay on your hands, but my hands are still a little bit damp. So to make it easier. Maybe. Okay. I'll twist it and tuck it under so it'll stay on my hand, hopefully. It's kind of like one of those things when you buy them, you think, oh, these are a great deal. But then you're like, oh, these are huge. What am I going to do with these? But I don't want to waste them, so I'm going to use them. Oh, let's see. Alrighty. Let me get one more container. This is kind of like my little prep island. I keep all my meal planner stuff down below. So there's my asparagus and dinner for myself and my daughter. So when she comes home, she don't have to cook. And there's our mashed potatoes. And my favorite mashed potato spoon. And I'm just going to take every one of these and put some mashed potatoes in it. And let me get my ladle and my slotted spoon so I can get these out. Got some chicken in there and some carrots. Looks wonderful and smells so good. Put about 3 or 4 pieces of chicken in each one, and some gravy. I'm a home cook and I like my gravy. It just wouldn't be dinner without gravy. and mashed potatoes. I'm going to put my lid on them there. And I'm going to make 3 more. And this is for a special friend of mine. She's got some health problems she's been battling. And so I just make this up for her. Just to give her a little bit of a hand each week. I don't know if you've ever had a time in your life where you were going through something and you just would think, you know, one less thing that I need to have to do. And cooking is always definitely one of those because it takes so much energy out of us. So I thought I surely can come alongside of somebody and make them a meal. Okay, there's that. And we'll put some gravy on that one. I usually like my gravy a little bit thicker, but that's okay. It'll be all right. It smells great. All right. And that is hot, 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 hot. Trying to hold the bottom at the same time and scoop it. It's burning. These are my favorite containers for this. These are hefty containers. I get them at Sam's Club. And you can dishwash them, microwave them. And they're only like $9 for a large pack of 30. It's really a great deal. And I believe it holds, let's see, what does these hold? Quite a lot. It has the measurement on the side of the bag, but they do hold a lot. I just can't remember how much. I love this cast iron Dutch oven. It's really the best thing. I've made bread in it and cooked whole meals in it. Love it. Alrighty, there's our 4 meals. Now, let me get Miss Lainey for her supper. I only used like maybe 12 potatoes. I thought, well, this ain't gonna make a boatload, but it sure did. It made a lot. Alrighty, here we go. All she's got to do is take that and put it in the microwave and bam, you got an instant meal there. One more for me. Let's see. Yeah, definitely a lot of potatoes. Had one little chicken left in there. Just one, I think. I had thought out about 6 or 7 large breasts thinking, I won't need all that. That's an awful lot of chicken. And I thought, well, I'll do just the 4 or 5 pieces of breast and I'll stick the other 2 in the fridge for another meal. But I should have listed it, just went ahead and thrown it all in there. Oh well. This is mine anyway, so that's okay. And there we go. And that's a meal for 6 people and my asparagus for my supper. Well, you guys have a great night, and I'm going to get these delivered and head to work. And at least I got a good hot meal for my supper tonight. You guys have a blessed day. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.